All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about easily one of the saddest news videos I've had to bring in a very long time, okay? This saddens me so much because I love FPS games, I love playing PvP, but we are about to enter a new era when it comes to cheating in FPS games. Right now in Destiny 2, there's a huge cheating epidemic on PC. It's a big issue. If you've been playing on PC, you know what that's like. And there's even cheaters on console as well, using hardware devices. Yes, you heard me right about with the Cronus devices and stuff like that. They're using hardware devices, so they have no recoil on console. There is cheating, and things are about to escalate to a whole new level. In fact, it's already begun. You know what I'm saying? It's already started because there are new cheats that are being introduced now. This has been a huge story. It's been out for about 2 weeks now. I wanted to be hesitant and on reporting on this because I don't want to bring any more publicity to it. But the internet is the internet. Everyone's already going to know about it. And I'm purposefully not going to name the cheats that are being used here. And thankfully, Activision has already taken a lot of action to try and shut this down. But unfortunately, when you try to shut down things that are just so sensational, it has that Barbra Streisand effect where, you try to suppress the truth and it ends up blowing up and becoming more known because of it. So here it is. New cheats have been developed and are being developed by a variety of different people that are machine learning hacks, machine learning cheats. So the best way to explain this, I don't know if you've seen like Boston Dynamics robots, right? Those robots learn how to walk, and it's a little bit scary. You start to think to yourself, like, are we approaching a singularity here? It's a bit crazy with the Boston Dynamic robots, but this is essentially the same thing, a machine learning program that would be able to use an input device on your computer to cheat for you. It'd be essentially like if a robot were to play mouse and keyboard or a controller for an FPS game. That's the equivalent of what this would be like. It would be undetectable hacks that would work on any platform and any game because it requires like a separate PC and some crazy capture card and all this insanity. Like, it's a very expensive setup, don't get me wrong. But the fact that it does exist and that it would be completely undetectable is really insane. I mean, we're going to start seeing people either potentially using this or getting busting for using this very soon here. I'm sure of it. We know what aimbot looks like right now when it comes to, video gaming. We watch people, they snap from one thing to another. And so you think to yourself, well, if anyone were to ever live stream doing this, we would know they were cheating. But this is way crazier. It can operate more like extra aim assist. We know when you're aiming at something and it pulls towards that direction, especially when you're playing Destiny, it has a lot of aim assist. It would be more like that. It would be more realistic. It would be learning how to do things. It could be adjustable, the levels, the values, etc., which we have already seen with current cheats right now. As I've exposed many times before, these live streamers, they have little sliding scale bars and they just turn up the insanity, their headshot percentages and whatever they want to do. And we're talking about a level of that to 10 times as extreme as that, right? The AI would essentially be working on a separate PC and it would be looking at your screen and it would, via a capture card, it would know what's going on. It would decide what input to put to kill certain enemies, etc. It would be able to detect, it's looking at your screen, it can detect what the enemies look like, where they're at, the range they're at, and how to approach and kill them, etc. It's going to be crazy. There's already been videos demonstrating this. Again, I don't want to put it up on the screen because I don't want to give any more promotion to it. Just trust me out that there are videos out there. Thankfully, Activision has taken a lot of effort to shut this down, and I'll show that in just a minute. The computer uses an HID device, a human interface device, so it literally inputs like it would just be like a controller or something like that. I mean, it's quite crazy how intricate this is and how much the cheaters have gotten so strong and they've made so much money. It's no surprise that they're starting to develop things that are even more advanced right now. Right now, there's solid anti-cheats out there that can stop software cheaters, solid anti-cheats, but there's pretty much nothing out there to stop hardware cheaters. And that's where we're at right now. There are hardware cheaters on console right now using those Cronus, whatever they're called. And there's going to be more hardware cheaters doing this because this is virtually completely indetectable. In fact, the only way you would ever be able to detect something like this is if you created a machine learning anti-cheat, which we know none of these companies are going to do. Activision, Bungie, you name it, none of them are going to go that far because that costs so much money. And all you get is what? A better experience for the PvP players? Bungie is not doing that, okay? Activision is not doing that. There's not enough reward to come back from that. You're not going to make your money back from that. As you can see here, Activision has been taking down videos, posting about this stuff. They're trying to suppress the information, which good on them to try and shut it down. But honestly, it's like, it's like plugging a hole in a boat. It's going to sink, right? And that's where we're at right now in the current FPS genre. And I know this sounds a bit overly dramatic, but trust me, when you start seeing how crazy this stuff is, and once this stuff starts to become wildly more popular, it's going to be a very scary time in the FPS world. So let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section below. Hopefully, we could get some, big name companies to develop some really hardcore anti-cheat for either software and especially for this hardware stuff that's coming up before it gets too crazy, right? One thing that I feel like a lot of companies have been slacking on is developing anti-cheat because it doesn't seem to represent any return of money, right? If you develop a really solid anti-cheat, you don't make any money from that because people don't see the anti-cheat in the game, right? If Bungie were to spend $1 billion today on an anti-cheat, we wouldn't see anything new in the game. We'd still have the same guns, we'd still have the same, activities. And so it wouldn't sell, they wouldn't make a return on their money. That's why Bungie doesn't invest as much as they should into an anti-cheat. And all these other companies are doing the same thing. They're not investing enough into the anti-cheat. But I'm telling you right now, if any of these companies actually were able to develop an FPS PvP-centric game where you couldn't cheat, and I don't know if it's possible with the way the computers work and the way the internet works, etc. But if it was possible to create a game like that, I don't know how you do it. That game would certainly be a multi-billion-dollar game because everyone would leave all of these games. Everyone who wants to play PvP would leave all the other games and play the one game where you can't cheat. Now, even in that game though, with a machine learning hardware cheat, that would be pretty crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm talking about an anti-cheat for software, but now there's the next level, which is hardware cheating. So very, very scary times. I appreciate Roxley bringing this story to my attention as always. And make sure to subscribe with notifications on if you want to stay up to date on all things Destiny 2. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.